Hello and welcome to Japanese in 5, where we take 5 minutes out of your and my busy day and we teach some Japanese and we learn some Japanese. Let's do it. This is Japanese in 5 attribute words in Japanese. It's number 22. And what we're going to do is we're going to take adjectives in Japanese and convert them into attributes. Some people are confused. What's an attribute? What's an adjective? An adjective is a word that describes, like, it's long. It's a long pencil. It's a short dog. I mean, anytime you could put a word directly in front of a noun and that word changes what that noun is, it modifies it, then it is an adjective. An attribute is some physical characteristic of that item. For example, the length, the height, the heaviness of that particular item. That is what we mean by attribute. So here is the pattern for taking pretty much any Japanese adjective and making it into an attribute. So you'll take an E adjective, you're going to minus the E and plus sa. And for na adjectives, which is very easy, you just slap on a sa and you've got an adjective. An attribute. Let's look at how we do it. Nagai means long, so I can say nagai hotdogu, a long hot dog. But if I want to say the length of the hot dog, I have to say hotdogu no nagasa. I'm taking hot dog and assigning it that length. The hot dog's length, it's a possession. Hot dog's length, right? Hotdogu no nagasa, the length of the hot dog, nagasa. All right, what about height? Tall is takai. Right? This building is takai. Kono biru wa takai desu. You could even say you are tall, but there's actually a different word for that. We're going to talk about that later. It would not be this takai. So, if you want to say height, you just say takasa. Tomodachi no takasa. Theoretically, you could say that, but there's a better way to say it. We're going to teach that in just a minute. All right. Hiroi means wide. Hirosa means width. You see how this is working? Fukai means deep. Fukasa means depth. Umi no fukasa, the depth of the ocean. Now let's look at some interesting attributes that maybe wouldn't make sense when you first hear them. This one does make sense. This is thick, atsui. Some of you only know the word hot, atsui, but this is a different kanji and it means thick. So if you want to say the thickness, it's atsusa. But guess what? You can also say the hotness of something. This is a little bit weird. We don't say this in English. We don't say hotness, but in Japanese they do. Atsui becomes atsusa, and samui becomes samusa, the coldness. Well, in English we wouldn't say coldness, we would translate it to cold or heat, right? We would change it to something that makes more sense, but you're literally saying hotness and coldness in Japanese, and let's look at a sentence. Kono atsusa wa shinjirarenai. I can't believe this hotness. Like, it's hot outside. I can't believe the heat. You would say this in Las Vegas. It's so hot. Kono atsusa wa sugoi. This hotness is amazing. This heat's amazing. All right, let's look at another one. Ondo wa onaji dakedo. The temperature is the same, however. Kino to kyou no samusa wa chigau. But the cold is different from yesterday to today. You're using it as a comparison. You're comparing, even if it's the same temperature, something feels different about the samusa. All we're doing, really what you're doing is, this attribute is just like a noun, and then you can do anything you want with it. You could be descriptive. You can modify that noun also if you want to. All right, now we've got non-adjective attributes, okay? So we had hirosa to mean width, but there's also this word, haba. Haba means width also. If you're talking about the height of a body, you really don't want to say takasa. You could say sei ga takai, he's tall. But if you want to say what is your height, you would say shinchou wa, hey, what's your height, the body height of you? Shinchou. Shinchou wa ikura arimasu ka? And depth can also be a different word. It's okuyuki. That can also mean the length. Okuyuki. All right, we got 21 seconds to see if we can get through it. We might go a little bit over. Other useful attributes, we've got sexy-sa. That's right, I just added sa after sexy, which is an adjective, and it works. Sexiness.韓国の K-pop アイドルのセクシーさは世界一. Korean pop idols' sexiness is world class number one. Okisa. This is weird. You hear bigness, but really this just means size. この箱の大きさはちょうどいいです. The size of this box, or the bigness of this box, is just right. ちょうどいい. Alright? And 優しさ for the next one. And the last one. 優しさ kindness. この家には優しさが足りません or 足りないです。この家には優しさが足りません. You see, I'm talking about kindness as if it's its own thing, because that's what we're doing when you're taking an adjective and sort of converting it to a noun, aren't you? An attribute. There is not enough kindness in this house, and there's not enough time to do this broadcast in 5 minutes. I am sorry I've taken up an almost additional 1 minute of your life. See you next time. Bye bye.